So big welcome to all. We've got a great Zoom plan for you. Now, a few things. It's being recorded, so please keep it clean and positive. And also, too, please connect with everyone on LinkedIn. Like we say at all our events, book meetings, book Zooms with people, buy and sell from each other, partner, work out, you can have collaborate. If you're both single, meet up for a date. I don't know, whatever you want to do. So there you go. Now, let's open with a few of our leaders. Now, Amir is at a conference. So let's grab Amir first because he might have to run off, I imagine. But Amir, do you want to say a quick hello before you got to run and do crazy stuff?
Yeah, I'd love to, Ed. You know what? I want to say thank you to Lassie, because Lassie has been really inspirational over the last few days in helping me launch my very first buyer's agent video that went live on LinkedIn, Instagram, TikTok, Twitch, YouTube, all the favorites. And through there, I really appreciate you guys that jumped on and supported me, put comments in. That was really awesome. And I got trolled. Yeah. The funniest thing, Ed, and Ed and I were talking about this after the event, the person that trolled me, I deleted, I blocked, and I removed them. That guy rang me today. So I'm in Oberon, and I get a phone call randomly. So I've been traveling. I was in Sydney yesterday morning, then traveled to do the meetup with Ed in Canberra, then drove back to Sydney, did the live in Sydney. Then today drove to Oberon and then back to Sydney. So I'm in Oberon and I get this random phone number that I don't recognize. I answer. The guy says, oh, look, I was listening to you for 30 minutes. I couldn't understand. It was going too slow for me, but I want to use you. So I'm a buyer's agent. He's a selling real estate agent. And he jumped on thinking that I was going to help him either sell his properties or that I was going to give him the tips of what my customers are looking for so that he could sell to my customers. I said, no, I'm just there to explain and educate on what I do. But let's have a conversation one-on-one. And yeah, he sent me through an off-market deal. So the one person who trolled me yesterday, I thought, geez, this is the end of the world. Now I've got to be embarrassed in front of everybody. It turned out into a sale.
Oh, God, the guy's a complete lunatic. There you go, Amir. So, yeah, a crazy world we live in, huh, Amir? But anyway, I'm just glad it went well, and congratulations again. Love your work.
And thank you again to Lassie and to Edward.
Oh, sorry. We love you, Amir. Round of applause to Amir. And Amir is one of our meetup leaders too, helps run our Sydney meetups, which is wonderful. So without further ado, let's start going into some of our heroic characters here. Now, firstly, we've got Eileen Avard with us. And Eileen Avard is amazing. When she said that, she's like, whoa, Eileen Avard. She's amazing. Eileen Avard, she was a guest last week. She was on Boss Lady Summit. Eileen Avard's been everywhere. Eileen, do you want to say a quick hello? And how's your concept all coming along?
Oh, hello, Ed, and hello, everybody. It was great last Thursday. It was so pumped, and then we had to interview. That was so awesome. And with that, we get so much more encouragement, more people that want to come on board and be part of it. And so, Ed, I just want to say thank you. What a great community and what a great champ you are for really helping people with course as such. Thank you.
And tell us a bit about what you're working on, Eileen, please.
Okay. So when I asked myself the question, how do I want to have greater impact with my time? And that was helping youth and helping them to build confidence and resilience in school and really taking the grade 5 and the grade 6 to the next level. And that is when the school put a program where we put a proposal to the school and the school will get all the kids to participate. Well, in secondary school, the children gets to choose. But with this program, you really want the grade 5, the grade 6 to go through to build the confidence and the courage and the resilience to have a voice so that they avoid being bullied or being the bully themselves. So that's what we are doing that for school and taking it further even more. Been doing this for the last 14 years. So that's what Wayne and myself are doing. So a little bit about me. Thanks, Ed.
I love you, Eileen. Beautiful as always. And I was just going to say, and also too, if you just come in, please connect with each other on LinkedIn, book meetings, do business. And let's have a chat to Sean Tucker. Sean Tucker's been going from strength to strength. And Sean, pumped to see you. Hopefully I'll pop into your lunch and say a quick hello in Melbourne tomorrow.
I'm excited and pumped to see you in Melbourne tomorrow as well, Ed. I've actually got my older brother who lives in Ballarat, so he's coming up as well. So it'll be really exciting to come and see you at the meetup and see everyone else, familiar faces, and yeah, just have a hell of a show. I think it'll be really cool.
And Sean, please tell us what you do and how you help people.
So I help CEOs become healthy CEOs. I do that by quantifying their internal health using exercise and health science principles. I then create a blueprint to get them back to their better self in 90 days or less. So if anyone wants to know a little bit more, be happy to have a chat. Thanks so much. Pleasure, Ed.
Sean, we love you. Round of applause to you, Sean. And we've got amazing Mina Mystery with us. Mina and I had a great chat on my Saturday night, which is her day, and she showed me the incredible view. She lives in a place called Cape Town, South Africa, which is just incredible. It was like one big Gold Coast, wasn't it, Mina?
Yeah, it was. Hi, everyone. Hi, Ed. It was incredible because it was the first time that you actually saw where I actually live, not only on a Google map, but I actually showed you the mountain that I posted, I think, yesterday in yesterday's LinkedIn post. So that was the same mountain that's up there. And today it's actually covered by the clouds because it's a bit foggy today. We're a bit overcast. We're not sunny Cape Town today, unfortunately.
Oh, there you go. And Mina, please tell us about what you do and how you help people.
Yep, sure. So I help people, well, individuals who are struggling with their life, who's stuck, who has negative emotions, trauma, depression. My first ever client that I had, which was 6 years ago, she had 40 years of depression. And in 2 sessions, we eliminated her depression from the root cause and the antidepressants that she was on. She went down on the dosage of her antidepressants within 2 weeks of her personal breakthrough intervention with me. So I work with these individuals, not just from an NLP background, but my utmost passion is spiritual development work. So I use a lot of spiritual development modalities to help those individuals transform their lives.
Oh, brilliant. We love you, Mina. Round of applause to you, Mina. Brilliant as always. And speaking of brilliant, we've got Annie Burke sitting there at her desk. Annie Burke, how are you? What's going on, Annie Burke?
I'm great, thanks, Ed. Hi, everyone, and hello to all the new people who are here tonight or today. Lovely to see you. Excuse me. Actually, I might get you to pass on to someone else. I'm just going to have a coughing fit. Sorry.
All right, we'll bounce back to Annie Burke while she gets the poison out of her system. In fact, what we do is maybe we should take a group photo. Yeah, let's do a group photo. So friends, please turn on your webcams and get ready for group photo. I thought we've got a full screen, so I might as well do it now. Grab a group photo real quick. So please activate thy cameras as I load up the software. All right, so we're all looking good. Yeah, got most people in. All right, friends, so best way is lean forward, smile, and 3, 2, 1, hold the pose. That was damn awesome. Please give yourself a round of applause. Wonderful. Annie Burke, did you want to try again, or is the poison still working through your system?
No, I'll try again. Thank you. For those of you who haven't met me, I'm an animal human relationship enricher. So I have conversations with animals who are living and animals in spirit and help support their parents to better understand what's happening. And for bereaved animal parents, it gives them a chance to find out what happened with their animal if they weren't home when the animal passed away, and also to pass on their messages, which helps the grief process for the animals and for the humans. And I have put in the links further up. I've got a free masterclass this Sunday, 8 a.m. and repeated again at 7:30 p.m. Brisbane time. So if anyone here is still dealing with grief from the loss of an animal, or if you know bereaved animal parents who could come, then please share the registration links with them. I'd love the session to help as many people as possible. I've actually got 3 of my clients coming to share their experiences of animal mediumship and also animal soul reincarnation. They've got absolutely amazing stories to share, so please join us.
Oh, Annie, we appreciate you. Love your work big time. And I can't help but noticing the amazing Sandy Diaz with us. Now, Sandy Diaz is amazing coach, absolute winner. And Sandy, would you like to say a quick hello?
Yes, hello. I am Sandy. I love to help people build their communication skills, rapport building skills, boost your people skills, and just create winning conversations and be able to hear what's not being said and get your message across. So yeah, I'm Sandy. That's what I do.
Sandy, we love you. Round of applause to you, amazing Sandy. And David Quinn Watson, top sales coach, great guy. We've got David Quinn Watson with us. David Quinn Watson, do you want to say a quick hello?
Oh, thanks very much, Ed. Jeff, thanks for the opportunity. Great to see all the good old faces and some of the new ones as well. I look forward to connecting with more of you. So I'm a sales coach, as Ed said, bit of a mentor as well to people. Had 40 years in financial services, learned a lot on the way. Now wanting to help people, and I do help people learn those lessons that I learned a whole lot more quickly than I ever did. I have an 8-week coaching program and helps you do that, particularly around getting over things that might be holding you back from closing your sales. So I'm more than happy to reach out to connect with you. Reach out to me. I'll put my details in the chat shortly. Thanks, Ed.
David, we love you. Round of applause, my friend, and a big welcome. Now, what we're going to do is we are going to open up the floor. So, yeah, what you can do if you want to say hello to the room, in the Zoom reaction bar is the hands up key. So just hit that so it ranks it in order, keeps it all well organized. And like all things, my big advice to you is when you speak, keep it up to half a minute. So, and keep it all short and punchy. The more direct and punchy you are, is the more effective you're going to be. So without further ado, let's hear from Kemi, who is awesome.
Hi, everyone. I got my voice back. So I'm Kemi from London. I'm all about positivity and helping people live healthier and wealthier lives. So I help women, but I'm not sexist, so I do help men. So if you know anybody that's looking to improve their health or just be more energized, I have my link trees in the chat box. Happy to talk and help people out. Yeah. Thanks, Edward.
Oh, Cami, glad you're feeling better. Love your work, Cami. We've got Jan with us. Jan, how are you tonight?
Tonight, yeah, hello. Thanks. I'm very good and hope you're all doing good too. What I'm doing is supporting people to unite with their uniqueness, to channel their energy, to align with their true self, and to conquer critical challenges. And this is what I do, and I'm Jana. Good to meet you all.
Oh, brilliant and powerful, Jan. Round of applause to you, Jan. We've got Petrie with us. How you doing, Petrie? Ah, no audio, Petrie. Are we getting Petrie's audio?
Okay, it's better
Oh,
put
yeah,
the
gotcha,
mic down,
gotcha.
then you can hear me. Yeah.
Say again, please.
I always forget it upstairs. Okay, great to be here again. So yes, I'm working with the evidence-based nutrition, which is quite unique and actually also in Australia. I'm sitting here in Helsinki, Finland, so quite far away. So, but yes, we have 3 different kind of blood tests, simple blood tests, which you can do at home. So you can really take, or we can take a peek inside you and see if there are some things we can fix and we can help you live better.
Oh, Petrie, legendary. Round of applause, Petrie. Big welcome. I was going to say, if you're coming as well, keep sharing your links and keep going for it. And oh my God, we've got Sandra Mataferi with us. Did I pronounce your last name correctly, Sandra?
Madafri. That's all right, Edward. I just, a lot of people say it like that, so it's all good.
Madafri sounds pretty cool, actually.
Thank you. Well, this is the first time I'm sharing. I've been around for a few weeks watching what's going on. But just a little bit about me. I'm actually a trainer of coaches. I teach NLP, hypnosis, timeline therapy, neuro change, and I've got my own meditation course that I train as well. So internationally accredited. And I also am a business coach, mainly supporting coaches and wellness practitioners to actually get themselves out there so that we can create a ripple effect.
Oh, Sandra, legendary. Give Sandra a round of applause. Brilliant, Sandra, as always. John Attridge, how are you, John?
Greetings from the UK, even though my Aussie accent tells you I'm probably from the Gold Coast originally. So I'm doing a shameless plug for my book again today. I'll put the details in the chat, but here's one little thing in it. Within times of inflation and price rises, everybody's trying to cut corners and save as much as they can, right? Here's a tip. Spend 80% of your marketing budget on your own customers rather than to try and track new ones. There's something you can take away. Have a think through that. And I've explored the idea more in the book. If you want to have a look, take a read. There's a little tease.
Pretty good, John. Love your work. Share it. Oh my God, we got Tom's with us. Tom's, every day I see you starting to look more and more like Brad Pitt with that beautiful, long, blonde, flowing hair.
Hi, everyone. I'm really happy to see you again here. It really brings a smile on my face to see everyone here, just as happy as I am. And I am helping overthinkers to manage their stress. I love tarot cards, mindfulness, and yoga. And if you feel like having a bit of a kick at your overthinking, get in touch.
Oh, Tom.
Thank you.
Love your work, man. Give it up for Tom's. Great guy. There we go. So, friends, we're going to hear from Brad Stridham shortly. And while we're listening to Brad, I'm going to upload the networking photo, which took a good photo, by the way. But before we do that, I just want to reach out again. If you haven't spoken and you would like to say hello, just want to give you one last chance before we bounce over to Brad Stridham. So if if you haven't spoken, you want to say hello, put up your hand right now. Well, guess what? It's Brad Stridham. Now, Brad's a great guy. Brad is from, well, no, Busker puts up his hand. Busker, go for it, man. What do you think, Busker?
Hi, Edward. Hi, everybody else. Great to see you all. I'm a little bit unwell, down with cough and cold. Hopefully, I should be well soon. Otherwise, I think I would get a new job. So it's just going to be pretty interesting. So I'm looking forward to it. Otherwise, I'm an independent consultant. I consult in the field of business analysis, systems analysis, and project management. Yeah, that's me. I like traveling, reading books, and meeting people. Cheers.
Oh, Basker, we love you. Round applause to Basker. Beautiful. All right, let's bounce over to Brad. Now, Brad and I go back many years. Brad is a very smart fitness, nutrition, health guy from Adelaide, originally from South Africa. And what I love about Brad is that Brad's spent a lot of years working in the gym environment. He's coached probably hundreds, if not thousands of people. And we're so pumped to have him with us as our guest speaker tonight. Now, the way it works is our clients can book speaking slots at our Zooms, maximum of 15 minutes, and then we bounce into Q&A. But Brad's going to give us some great tips and great value. So, Brad, I've enabled share screen, and I'm going to spotlight you now. So you're going to take over everyone's PC, which you have. Brad, are you all ready to go? What's going on, Brad?
Ed, I'm good to go. Is my sound all good there?
It's pretty good. I'm going to go quiet now, so please share screen and go for it, Brad.
Okay, I'm going to open this up here. Just have a look. Good. So I thought I'd open this up with giving context as to how I am first and how I landed in this particular place. Like Ed mentioned a little bit earlier, I am from South Africa, originally born and bred, and then we immigrated here at the beginning of 2020, which was kind of the peak of COVID. So it was an interesting time for myself and my family to move here. But I essentially I worked 10 years in the advertising industry, and at the same time, I decided to open a CrossFit gym. And for many people that know what CrossFit is, it's a functional fitness regime, which kind of started many, many moons ago. But during that period, I suffered a lot of stress myself. I don't know if it was a good idea to open the gym, but it was successful nonetheless. And I started a small family as well. So I was burning the candle at both ends. So when it comes to stress, I know a fair share amount for myself, and I know a lot of people these days have a lot of stress in themselves as well. Like Ed mentioned, I've probably worked with 1,000 clients in the totality that I've been working in the industry. So I've had a pretty good database of, whether people deal with stress, sleep issues, recovery, training, etc. So I'm going to go in today's presentation just something regarding that I call deep health. Now, the reason why I bring up the deep health approach firstly is because a a lot of people know how to go to a gym. Going to the gym is the easy part. 3 days a week, you can get in your car and you can drive there. But when we look at the big picture, and this is the most important part, is when we look at deep health, we look at how to thrive in a big picture scheme. And if we look at this graph on the bottom there, you'll see that it says relational, existential, mental, physical, emotional, and environmental health. Now, everyone must always look at the big picture. So it's all very well, and I know a lot of people that are in very, very, very good shape, but unfortunately they're not healthy in the great scheme of things. So they might have issues with their mental health, they might have poor relationships, they might have poor emotional balance. So when we look at health in totality, we must look at the big picture, not just the small picture. Which takes me to the next part, which I'm going to start off here. How to avoid burnout and boost energy levels. So that was the crux of the chat that I wanted to have today. Now, if you look at the diagram, you'll see that this is essentially a house. And on that house, we've got lots of things in our life. We've got business, we've got family, we've got everything else. We've got our hobbies, we've got friends, we've got work, we've got careers. And having that fine balance can be a tricky thing sometimes. And underneath, we've got our stress management, our sleep, and our nutrition recovery. Yes, there are other elements that are built into this, but in the great scheme of things, when we get those 3 pillars right, we can highlight those things and we can get those things at the top in a lot better position. Fair enough, and I can imagine there's a lot of people that are sleep deprived, they're overstressed, they don't eat well, and they were still doing these things pretty well. The unfortunate thing is that it's only a matter of time before it catches you, okay? And that's the thing, is that these things do catch up with you. And how long and how sustainable is this pace that you're moving at? So that's the big question here. So I'm going to move into the next couple of slides, and the next one is just going to focus on our stress. Now, as you can see in the right-hand corner there, there's a guy just about to catch a water balloon, and the bloke in the back there hasn't got a very good stress meter. So he's not great at finding his sweet spot in terms of his stress. Now, that's where it comes down to a certain thing called your stress wheel. Now, on the left-hand side, you'll see we have environmental stress, physical stress, social stress, existential stress, emotional stress, and mental stress. So stress comes from a lot of different places, and these are known as stresses. And everybody has a different ability to deal with different loads of stress, which is known as your allostatic load. And, you know, someone might be different to the next person. And if you kind of know where your sweet spot is, you can understand how much stress you're able to deal with. And that's where we come into a thing called eustress. Now, eustress is the good stress. And everybody needs some kind of stress in their life. And we all know that if you've got too much stress, you get stressed out, you're burnt, it's chronic. Whereas you haven't got enough stress, there is an element of boredom. So we need to find that sweet spot of how much stress we have in our life. The next area that we need to be looking at is sleep. Now, I can imagine if I had asked the question in front of everybody and said, can everyone in this room put their hand up and say, would you like more sleep during the week? And I bet you most people will put their hand up and say, yes, they could probably deal with a little bit more sleep. And in most parts, out of all the people that I've dealt with in all the years in terms of coaching, most people are undersleeping and they're far too overstressed. So these are 2 big areas that we need to work on when we're looking to avoid burnout and making sure that we recover correctly. Now, I'm sure you remember this guy from the Adam Sandler movies, but we can look at how much, and I mentioned with Ed, obviously Ed's got some commitments himself, so everyone's going to have a different level of how much sleep they're going to need. You know, someone that's got a young family is probably going to get a little bit less sleep, and they haven't really got much choices regarding that. But what we can do is we can ultimately try and game the things so that we make sure that we get the best opportunity to get the most amount of sleep. Now, on average, most people should be getting around about between 7 and 9 hours, between 18 and 64. And if you're a little bit older than that, you should be getting between around about 7 and 8 hours. I read a great study the other day that where kids that are getting, at age of 12, if they are getting less than 9 hours of sleep a night, their actually brains don't develop correctly. So anyone that's an parent that has got kids should understand that your sleep is essential for the development of your brain as well. One thing I have noticed as well is when it comes to sleep, when people are sleep deprived, and this is an important thing when it comes to the nutrition world, is the ability to have a growth mindset is limited as well. So now I can rant on a couple of things where, Sleep is important for fat loss, to gain muscle, recover, repair, regulate your blood sugar, regulate your hormones, regulate your hunger, your appetite. But one of the important things, like I said, is growth mindset. So when you wake up in the morning, you've had a poor night's sleep, often you have the inability to see things from a positive light. So that's the first thing. Second thing is it's a trigger for poor decisions. So if you're sleep deprived, you're more than likely going to make poor decisions during the day, and that's regards to your behavior or regards to your food choices as well. Which takes me through to the next one, where we can look at trying to solve these particular problems. So at the beginning of this, I mentioned how we need to look at managing your burnout as well as increasing the energy levels. And when we look at the 3 pillars, once again, we look at our stress, we look at our sleep, and we look at our nutritional recovery. So these are kind of the solutions that you can work on. I didn't want to give you guys too many things to work on, but these are 3 pillars that you can work on. When it comes to stress, one of the key things that you can do is you can do a 5-minute body scan daily. Okay, so all you need to do is once a day, you take out 5 minutes of your day. And all you need to do is you need to find a quiet place, distraction-free time, and notice your physical sensations. So first thing I want you to do is I want you to start to work through your whole body. So if you're lying down, if you take 5 minutes out, you're going to lie on the floor, for example, in the office, and close your eyes and take out some quiet. And I want you to go through, scan your whole body from your head through down to your toes, and feel the sensations. Feel how you're feeling. What is tight. Often stress leads to cranky joints as well. Work through your whole body. Once you've done that, I want you to think of your mind as well. So what are you thinking? What are you feeling? What are your emotions? And what are you physically feeling as well? So those are 3 questions you can ask for yourself. So as you're doing the scan, ask yourself, what am I feeling physically? What am I feeling emotionally? And what am I thinking? So that's a 5-minute body scan for your stress. When it comes to sleep, without giving you too many things, and not everyone, once again, not everyone gets the same amount of sleep at night, and not everyone gets it equally, but you want to improve your chances of getting a good night's rest. Down the middle, you look at your sleep, we want to make sure we dim our lights and we black out curtains. So the darker the room, the better. We want to set a reverse alarm clock, and what this does is you set an alarm clock at which time you want to go to bed. So I've got an alarm clock set on my phone, and it goes off at 8 o'clock every single night, and that's the time at which I kind of set the thinking that I need to get to bed. I always try and make sure that I don't drink caffeine 8 hours before bed. Caffeine's obviously got a long half-life, which means it stays in your body for a long time. No screen time before bed, which obviously the blue light will obviously affect your circadian rhythms. And then you want to have a brain dump. So anything that's bothering you before you go to bed, you want to make sure that you write it down in a journal. And that way you can have it out your head onto a piece of paper so you can go to bed without having to think about it. So like I said, not everyone gets the same amount of sleep or equally, but you can improve the chances. So if you tick those boxes, you can improve the chances of a better night's sleep. And the last one is obviously nutritional recovery. This is a foundation as well. During the day, you want to make sure that you eat lean protein at most meals, colorful fruits and veg at most meals, slow digesting carbs at most meals, healthy fats, and minimally processed foods. So obviously eating the right food as well will be a foundation of making sure that you recover as best as you possibly can. So those are the 3 things that you can do. Obviously the foundations of solving this problem: stress, sleep, and nutritional recovery. If you action those things, I promise you, you will get a better result.
Brilliant. Is that your thinking, Brad?
That's mine, Ed. That's mine. I just wanted to make it nice and short and sweet and make sure that people take away 3 important things and not overthink things.
Oh, brilliant. Can we give a round of applause to Brad? That was really good. Nice.
I would just say as well that if anybody wants any resources or anything like that, I've put some stuff aside that if they want that, I can send them over to as well, just regarding about sleep and stress as well.
Oh, brilliant. Love it. Now, we've got time to ask Brad a few questions. If you've got a question you want me to ask, put it in the chat, or put your hand up and I can, you can go hot mic and ask Brad yourself. So what questions do we have for Brad? Anyone got any questions for Brad?
Lots of questions. Anything fitness related, nutrition related, habit building related.
Okay, I've got one for you, and this is relevant to me. So I'm going to get up at 3:30 tomorrow, which is not too long from now. and I'm going to make my way to the airport and fly to Melbourne. Now, what I find is that I'll like get up early. I'll go to Melbourne. I'll basically get up at 3 and I'll be lucky if I'm home by midnight. So very, very, very long day, right? So clearly I've probably like slept 5 hours a night before, and I've had like literally an 18-hour day. And I find I'm still messed up by Sunday or Monday. Like, you don't sort of get over that. So I just want to ask you, when you mess up your sleep patterns, how long does it normally take to sort of get back in line? So I have a really good trip to Melbourne or whatever. It takes me a few days. What do you think of that, Brad? Because I do it all the time. My body kind of hates me.
That's a very good question, Ed. I think it's one of those situations. I presume it obviously doesn't happen all the time. I mean, once in a while it happens. But I would say that, you know, your body will have a natural clock in itself. So it works in, you know, kind of that you're up for X amount of hours when the sun is up, and then everyone's in. Naturally, when it goes dark, it's eat time. I think, you know, the best thing to do is just to carry on with your day as it has been, and just try and, like I said, you know, it's not always going to be like that. You want to try and make sure you give yourself the best chance. So I would go, in that case, I'd probably focus on your nutrition, probably the most important factor there. You obviously can't control the fact that you're up those hours and have such a long day. So just focus on what you can control.
And I remember actually a long time ago, I went to Dubai, right? Flew to Dubai for a business trip, then pre-virus. And I can't remember what it was, but basically I arrived in Dubai. That would have been my 2 a.m., but it was kind of lunchtime. So I went and had a big Middle Eastern lunch, as you do in Dubai. And I just drank coffee all day, and I stayed up till that night talking Dubai time, and I went to sleep, and I like slept for like 15 hours straight. It was nuts. So it's funny how the bio clock works. I love it. So Petrie's got a question. Petrie, please unmute and ask Brad whatever you're thinking.
Yeah. No, I was thinking actually Brad already partly replied to my question. So because I'm working with this test and nutrition things, and of course, obviously, most of the times the problem is, as you said, coffee is one of the problems, but it's also all these gadgets, what you're carrying. So people are watching them even on just before they try to sleep, and then there are people who are saying, yeah, I'm okay with 5 hours sleep. So how do you go on those people? Because of course it's matter of big combination of it's diet and it's exercise, and then of course I always talk about sleep. So how do you tackle that?
Petrie, that's a very good question, and I just after this I'd love to connect and hear more about what you do. But that question regarding about, obviously certain people will feel like that's all they need. A question I always like to ask people is, how's that working for you? And it just bounces the question back to them to go, oh, now that I've been asked that question, yeah, maybe I'd probably feel a little better. So I think it's just a matter of just probing and just asking questions to see whether or not that is actually a right hypothesis that they're making themselves.
Yeah, absolutely. I think I see Vinny is also talking about the quality of the sleep, and I don't know, maybe some people know about Oura Ring, so that's I'm carrying it all the time, so I can control my quality of the sleep. So it's very important also.
Yep.
Brilliant, awesome, great question, Peter, and great answer, Brad and Jan. Please, Jan, unmute, ask Brad whatever you're thinking.
Yeah, so nutrition and meditation, in my opinion, is like a great thing to think about as well when we think about sleeping pattern, because what we're doing while sleeping is we're getting cosmic energy in, but through meditation and through mastering meditation, I hear that we can deal with less sleep and also be fit during the day when we're really having a balanced and peaceful state. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I love that. I love that thinking. I think it's it's definitely a good connection with regards to sleep, and I mean it's an opportunity for your body to recover essentially. So I think I'd almost put that in the category of its own meditation. When during the day when you're awake and you do some form of meditation, it is a form of recovery. So I think it's definitely a good add-on. Definitely, without a doubt, John.
Yeah,
Brilliant.
cool. Yeah, some people reach that state of thoughtless. So this is basically what meditation then should be about. So when we're reaching this thoughtless state, I hear about people they're sleeping around 4 hours a night, and they're good, and they're doing their work, and they're living their life on purpose and just like completely balanced. It's amazing.
That is amazing, yeah. Well, if they get that right, good for them. I think that's a good thing if you can, if you're able to incorporate meditation where you allow yourself to don't get enough sleep.
Definitely,
Love
thank
it.
you.
Love it. It's incredible. I remember an interesting one years ago when I was in the army, very long time ago. I did this 4-week urban warfare training course, and it was actually set basically in an old hospital, or basically war games, killing each other. And what was interesting about it is that for like basically a month, we were all sleeping 4 to 5 hours a night, right? And I found after about 2 weeks, you start getting a little bit weird. I found that could I survive on 4 hours a night sleep? Yes. But you start becoming a bit of a weirdo after a while. Like when you in that continually sleep deprived state, you become a bit of a nut job, I think, actually. In fact, I want to ask you about that, Brad, because it's got me thinking about my old origins. But when someone's continually sleep deprived, what are some of the behaviors and perhaps fallout of doing that?
Yeah, that's a good one, Ed. I'm glad you brought that one up. Interesting story, just to kind of dovetail on that. I had a friend of mine here in Adelaide. He just did the Hyson Trail, which is 1,200 kilometers. It's a 1,200-kilometer hike, and they set a record. There was 4 of them that set out to do this race. They were going to complete it within 10 days. So essentially, that's 120 kilometers a day that they were doing on foot, right, in the mountains here in Adelaide. If you Google it, you'll be able to see it. Maybe I'll just find it and pop it in the link. But an interesting story, and the reason why I dovetail on what you just said there is that because they were slow sleep deprived, they actually started getting delirious.
Yeah.
So one of my mates, when he arrived at the finish line, he couldn't make sense on how he was talking. He was talking in tongues, and he was talking about random things. So I think you make a very valid point that sleep deprivation can lead to a lot of other things. And like I mentioned in the preso, is that it's obviously your growth mindset as well. So when you're sleep deprived, your ability, and I know when, I've got a colleague of mine, I know when they haven't had enough sleep because they're always a little bit more crankier. Yes, and I understand some people are able to deal with a little bit less sleep than some. And I think it's just a matter of you finding a sweet spot. I know I'm at around about 8 hours. That's what I'm good at. When I'm in the 6 hours, by the end of the week, if I've done that the whole week, I don't feel my best. So good point there. I like it. Glad you highlighted it.
Love it, love it. Round of applause to Brad. I was just going to say as well, before we bounce back to the group, Brad, just quickly, in case anyone wanted to hire you, buy your stuff or have you as their fitness health guide, tell us a bit more how people can work with you and speak to you, Brad. And do you offer a discovery session or something like that?
Correct. So I offer a call, which I have with all my clients. Anyone who wants to jump on a board, it's kind of a no-sweat call. So, just chat back and forth and see how you're doing and what your problems are. And then if any client decides to start working with me, I've got a 12-week program that I work one-on-one with my clients. And it's a habit-based course. I teach you everything that you need to know. I'm not there to tell you what to do. I'm there to help you and guide you in that process as well. So people that are looking to improve their stress levels, their nutrition, lose weight, if they're looking for that to become a better human being, then I'm your guy.
Oh, I love it. Round of applause, Brad. It's a pleasure. I just want to say a big thank you. Now, we've had a really good run today. Now, I just want to, we've had a few people arrive. So now, first things first, if you haven't spoken yet and you would love to say hello to the room, now's your chance. If you haven't spoken yet, and you want to say hello, just put up your hand right now. Just click the hands up in the Zoom reaction bar so you're ranked in order. Richard Thomas, how are you, Richard Thomas?
Hey there, Ed. I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Good seeing you, man.
Yeah.
What you working on?
Oh, well, as you know, I've been trying to impersonate Ed today. Yes, that's quite funny. Yeah, I hope you didn't mind me doing that with your website, but
I love it. That was funny as shit. That's good.
If yes, if anyone wants to know what I'm talking about, go and check out my poll from today that I put up. It's just a little video there. So it's something I've been working on, which is rather interesting, which is it's one of these new sort of emerging technologies, I guess you could say, that I love to work with, which adds a little welcome concierge to your website. So it lets you welcome people with a personal video instead of having that cold impersonal website just staring people in the face. You can actually welcome them and then direct them to take the next step. And yeah, it's pretty cool. Lets you take video reviews as well, testimonials, which automatically start appearing on your website. So yeah, amazing little tool. Yeah, that's what I'm working on at the moment. So having lots of fun with that. So, thanks,
Pleasure,
Ed.
Richard. Love your work, and big thank you. And yeah, if you haven't spoken, you want to speak, put up your hand now. Now's a chance. All right. If you just want to say something, be it you want to add, say something, mention something, now's your chance. Put up your hand if you want to speak to the room. Anyone. Now's a big chance. Wow. What a quiet, beautiful room. Jan saved the show. Jan, what are you thinking, my friend?
I'm still thinking about the sleeping because this is really a thing that is, yeah, I'm very busy with that thought of for myself too. And I think it's really different on how balanced my lifestyle is, how I'm eating, what my activities are, how much physical activity I'm doing. And I believe this is why every one of us has a bit of a difference. So it's differentiating because of our physical activity, our food, what other things are going on in our lives. I mean, we never really know what is happening next. So can be some more stressful, some family drama, some friend drama, whatsoever. So I believe the more we need to, how do I say, the German word would be easier. The more we need to work with the information we receive, the more sleep we need, because we're in that sleep state, we're healing, we're processing so many things. So I believe this is why it's for some people more, some less. I love sleep. I just love peace. When I'm sleeping, when I'm dreaming, I'm just like, woo, up in the clouds. So it's very beautiful. But yeah, the stress level is a main thing, I believe. The more stress we feel, I believe we should take more sleep. Yeah.
Jan, well said. Appreciate you, Jan. It's good. And Izzy, did you want to say hello, Izzy? I saw your comments. Please unmute and say hello, Izzy.
First of all, I have to congratulate Jan because his sign, there's a post-it note at the back of him, which I thought it said no more X's, but it doesn't. It says no more excuses. So I thought, yeah, no more X's. Yeah, that's it. It says no more excuses. So that's pretty cool. Isabel here. Just thought I'd pop in and say hi. You've got a heap of people here, Ed. Look at all these gorgeous people. There's so many. Some that I see, that I know. But anyway, money. I've actually heard a few people, even today at work, that they had these limiting beliefs. So when I was a kid, my mum and dad were always saying the Aussie battler. Have you heard of that? We're the Aussie battlers and we battle, right? That's a broke mindset, just so everybody knows. That's the Australian broke mindset, because we don't have to struggle, right? And then it's okay not to have a lot of money, because that's who we are. Australians, we just battle through. What a crock of crap. I tell you, what bullshit. If we don't love money, so today on one of my posts on LinkedIn, someone come at me and said, it's the love of money that's evil. Well, for me, well, okay, I get it. We've got the Christians there and I appreciate them. I do. But if we're not grateful and if we don't love the money that comes to us, then we're sabotaging ourselves, right? We're just sabotaging ourselves, because if we keep saying that, well, if we don't love it, then we hate it, it's evil, it's not going to come to us, right? I think
Nothing
so.
wrong with loving money and people at the same time. It seems fully compatible to me.
Makes sense to me.
There
So
you
if
go.
we're not grateful that we have clients, we have not just clients, if we have somebody on the street that just walks up to you and just hands you a $20 bill, what are you going to say? No, thank you, that's evil and I don't want it. Is that what we're going to say? No, of course not. We're going to take it and say, thank you. That's it. So yeah, we've got to love it, embrace it. That's all I've got to say. Thanks, Ed.
Isabel, we love you. Round of applause, and it's a pleasure. We have to get you as a guest speaker. That was a great monologue, Isabel. I love it. Thank you. Hey, does anyone want to say anything before we finish up for the day or night? If you want to say anything, please, now your chance. If not, that's awesome. All right, my friends. Well, let's call it a day or evening. Just before you all go, I'll just show you what coolness we have coming up, my legendary friends, before you all head off. So just let you know, we've got our Melbourne meetup tomorrow, which is very exciting. So if you're in Melbourne, come join us, 2:30 p.m. at 333 Collins Street. And this Monday, we've actually got our next live webinar, and we've got Holly Smith as our guest speaker. And we're actually doing one on successful habits with Holly Smith. And then we're back on next week, and we've got Katrina Milley from Perth as our guest speaker. So I was going to say, please book into our events on Meetup if you haven't already. And like always, please share them online and invite other people. Without further ado, let's finish up there. Brad, can we get a final closing thought from you before we finish the evening? Your closing thought, Brad Strider.
My closing thought, Ed, would be on gratitude and the importance and the power of being grateful for what you have in life, irrespective of what it is. Being grateful for you, Ed, I'm entirely very grateful for yourself, and I'm grateful for the evening and the opportunity to be here. So gratitude is the shortcut to happiness. That's my closing thought.
Brilliant. There we go. Can we unmute friends? Unmute all. Round of applause. What a brilliant evening.
Bye.
Stay awesome all.
Great day.
Bye.
Keep winning all.
Thanks,
See you all.
Brad.
Bye.
Ciao, ciao.
Bye.